Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Mindset Coach.
I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a business and branding coach. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. We made it.
We did. I had such an eventful day, and I am celebrating with a gin and soda and it like looks so pretty. Gin and soda with few slices of lime, and as I turn it to the camera, it just keeps going with me. But
It's
anyway,
shy.
it is shy. I don't know what's happening, but it is so refreshing, and I am like all here for the fruits and the mint and the leaves and the stuff, the basil in my drinks lately. Yep. So this is what I'm drinking. What are you
nice. Well, I am drinking a Dukeman Montepulciano.
Oh, it is a celebration day today.
It is. It's date night, but I don't know what we're celebrating, but I know we're celebrating something, and it feels like the shit has been lining up this week.
You can celebrate me getting my will done.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
that's why we're running late today.
This is because Cam and we have been those people that are like, we really need a will. We really need to go get a will. It's like someday, one day kind of ridiculousness. And so, man, like when we actually had to try to access his parents' will, it was a bit of a shit show. Like it wasn't all lined up like they thought that it was. And so we really have had to put the focus on going to the lawyer and getting a real one. We had one that was done online, signed in purple pen with like a 5-year-old that witnessed it. It was I don't know. Our lawyer said it could be binding, but why take the risk? So we went in, and it was interesting. All of the things that we were asked to think about, because some of the things we don't think about or talk about, or for me, it was so we did a will, an enduring power of attorney, and what's the other one? I can't think of the other one, but when you're what do you want to have happen if you're incapacitated? You're never going to come up back. And this is something fun to talk about. Maybe not fun, twisted, but just talk. Oh, I think I would do this. I think I would do this. But when it came to writing it down on a legal document, I freaking froze. Cam is like, yeah, nope. You can let me go. Tell them to let me go. Like if I'm incapacitated, I don't want to live like that. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, I think I want to be kept around. What if there's some miraculous cure? He's like, well, okay, but probably there will be a couple of people. I went through this process of no, don't let me die. I want to live in my kids' homes forever. On life support, they can just go and see me all the time. It was really a struggle for me. And the lawyer was looking at me well, you have time to think about this. So I finally came to a decision. They could do that. They could let me go if I was on life support, and there was no way I was coming back, but they had to confirm with numerous doctors, very high specialists, and every psychic and intuitive person that I know. They need to confirm that there is no miracle, because I believe in miracles.
Yes.
I feel 125. I'm sure I'm healthy. I could do it.
You're like,
but
go get that stem cell stuff.
I'm sure there's something, fine. But it was a really weird awareness that I had, that I was just, when the chips are down, I was not willing to give up hope.
You're like, well, here's what you can do to make sure you are around forever. When you die, and are you going to get cremated? Well, you are
Yes.
in this version. You have to. So you take your ashes
Okay.
and
And make it into jewelry.
they can turn it into a diamond. So like if
Oh,
I die before Paul, he's going to make me into a big ass diamond. And if he remarries, she has to wear me around on her finger all day. Now, you could do something similar with the kids. You know,
nice.
maybe Cole's wife could wear you on her finger too. And
That's a good idea.
maybe a necklace for your daughter. I don't know.
I kind of love it.
So
I kind of love it. But that's like when 1,700 people that I have made them consult with have
once
all
they
said no,
sign off,
gone. It's going to be a process. It's going to be so painful. They're probably just going to leave me in some corner of a hallway. But, it's interesting that I was very willing to go there in a casual conversation.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But wow, when I see my lawyer writing it down, it feels different.
Yep.
It feels different. It's like, whoa, I can't change my mind now. It's written in stone.
Yeah, they're gonna kill me.
I need some.
There's gonna be a treatment that can save me. I'm gonna be on the
Yeah.
edge and they're gonna go, nope, nope, take her off. She's done.
What if? Interesting topic. How was your week? Was it as expansive as mine? I had a great day.
My week, it's been such an interesting week. Just my awareness of things, um,
Mm,
noticing things, noticing shifts. Um, and one thing in particular is just watching my daughter Lily. You know, she's been going through some stuff. Um, gosh, I mean, over a year now. And
mhm.
I've been trying so hard. I've been efforting. Abraham would say, stop efforting. But
Yeah.
like, if you could see what's possible for you, if you could see this isn't the life that you need to live, you have the same magic that I have, that Logan has, but you're not using it. You don't see it. And
Right.
just really trying to get her to see herself the way I see her, the way other people
Mhm.
see her, what she could actually do. And I get it. She's been stuck in what is. She's,
Mhm.
excuse me, she's been stuck in her current reality, which is an interesting reality at this point. You know, not the
Yeah.
funnest place to be, but you got to get out of it. And
And we talked about this before, wasn't it? Like either we're stuck in what is or what was.
yeah, and
Instead
that's what I tell her.
of
You're living in the
yeah.
future or the past. You're not in the moment. Sometimes when she
Yeah.
gets really anxious, I'm like, you're not here with me. Where are you? You're in the future or the
Right.
past. But she's
Mhm.
starting to think about some of these things, not so much roll her eyes and leave the room, is actually have a
Isn't
conversation.
that the goal with our kids? Always.
Yes. But this week in particular, I've seen her light up again. It's been a while. I've seen her open herself up, and she had a friend from childhood. We have not seen him since the cancer walk for Paul like 10 years ago. Um,
Wow.
we love the family. I still talk to her mom and see her, you know, for special occasion things, but we don't live in the neighborhood with them anymore. And now they've moved off. They're here, but they're further down the road. And he messaged her out of the blue and said, hey, let's get together. I don't know exactly how this went down. They were chatting. He said, let's get together. And so we went to see The Little Mermaid last Friday. And she's like, Nick's coming over when we get home. And so he came over, and it was so nice to see him. And
Right.
they went out and sat on the patio, and we were finishing dinner when he got here. And they're sitting out there talking, and I walk out there for something, and I hear them talking, and he's describing his job. And, you know, that's when I asked him, you know, what'd you go to school for? What are you doing? And then he starts telling me, but he's like, I was just telling Lily this because they could use her. Like, she knows ASL. They would train her on everything she needs to know for the job. And this is how much it pays. And these are the kind of increases you can expect. And they'll pay for college courses. And I'm looking at her, and her little mind is just going,
Mhm.
oh, 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 she's feeling it. And I don't know if this particular opportunity is the thing. And I don't care, because it made her think. It made her stop and go, this could be possible for me. What else is possible?
Right.
Because she hasn't seen much lately. And it's been
Mhm.
more about what's impossible, even though that's not the truth.
Yeah.
So there is just this excitement in me watching her go, oh, I don't have to believe the bullshit stories I tell myself.
Yeah.
What do I want to create?
Exactly. And what I find is that as soon as you open up to the vortex, you open up to the universe, you open
To
up to
what
God,
if?
you open up to what if, it's like people are just placed in your path to help you take the next step.
Yes.
Everything just starts to happen. And
Yeah.
in my year of yes, this is what it is. It's like I just open up to, okay, I'm surrendering. Like, God, what would you have me do?
Mhm.
And it's like, then one person is presented in my life, and that leads me to another thing, and that leads me to a different person, and that leads me to another opportunity. And it's just like little tiny stepping stones are being placed in my path, and I
Yeah.
don't know where they're going, and I don't know how fucking long they are, and I don't know how many there are, and I never know where the next step is, but I trust the next one is going to be there when I need it.
Yeah. And it always is.
It's cool. It
But if we say,
always
I'm
is.
not going near the water because I'm scared, I'm going to stay over here where it's safe, and it
Mhm.
sucks and I hate it, but I'm
Yeah.
safe.
Well, or looking backwards, you're not going to see the next step.
Oh, true. True.
Looking down at like, oh, I hate this muddy pond I'm in. You're
Mhm.
not going to be like opening up to the possibility of another stone appearing.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating to me.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating to me.
And
I
it's
had the coolest, oh, I was going to say,
okay.
go ahead.
No.
I had the coolest conversation with a client today. Like, and I'm telling you, I feel like this is one of my stepping stones, whether it's for myself, for a listener on this podcast, for you, for Lily, like, I don't know, but this is mind blowing. I'm telling you what was
Okay.
for me.
Okay.
So, Cam had come, while I was on this call, I was talking to this client of mine, and Cam had come home in the meantime. By the time I walk out of this call, I can see he's like in his head. You know, he's like thinking. He's just in his head, and he's not in the present moment, in the now, where there's peace, like Eckhart Tolle talks about, right? He's in where what was and what should be, and all the rest of the mind fuckery that goes on. Like, and it was interesting, like just how you talk about how Lily, you saw her shift. I told him this story of my client, and his whole being shifted. He stood upright. You could see he wasn't like focused down, kind of with furrowed brow. He was just like, his whole energy shifted.
Wow.
And it was just this amazing, like, I guess opening up to what's possible allows us to get out of the shit of what is. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, there's something greater than us. It's like, you know, when you're standing in the middle, you're standing at an ocean, you're looking out at the ocean, and it's like just the ocean. And then all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, there's a lot of water here. And I'm just a tiny little nothing. In comparison, the world is so much bigger than my fucking problems.
Yeah.
It's so true. So this client was telling me that, so she has a business, coolest thing ever. She does this, like, I don't remember what she calls it. It was like a body scan where she has the gift of just being able to see where you have issues in your body. And she'll go, oh, I
Wow.
can feel like there's a blockage here. They go to the doctor, sure as shit. And it's not like she's diagnosing, but it's just like
Yeah.
she can feel energy blockage. And she can say, you know, I'm not sure, but maybe, like, would they come to her with a physical health problem the doctor can't figure out, maybe have them do a CT scan on the kidneys, something like that. That's what she does. So what she wanted to do, and then she has another job. So what she wanted to do is move away from her massage job and move more into client work,
Mm-hmm.
because that's where she really loves it.
Mm-hmm.
But she was holding herself back. So she's talking to a friend of hers who is very woo energy, you know,
Yeah.
energetics. And she was trying to sell her house. This woman was trying to sell her house, but it's a huge house. It's millions of dollars. It's like, you know, like specific buyer. And so she, all of a sudden, one day it sold. And what she did was so miraculous. She said, I just removed my energy from the home. And I opened up to God, the universe, spirits. I opened up to my home having its own energy and my home selling itself for what it wanted to be sold to. My home finding the right person to purchase it that it wanted, like giving her home this whole energy, and the house sold. So she said to me, so I decided to play with that. She goes golfing every Thursday with her friend, and she decided she was going to play with it. I am going to allow my business its own energy.
Oh.
I'm going to allow it to decide how big it wants to be, how successful it wants to be, how bold it wants to be, how many clients it wants to have, and how it wants to shift and be in the world. That day, 3
Wow.
clients, 2 brand new, and one that this just came to her that comes like maybe 3 times a year, not a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
And I thought in terms of like, how often do we take ourselves out of our problems? How often do we truly surrender? I don't think it's very often.
Mm-hmm.
I think usually we sit and we think, what do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, the
How am
manifestation
I going
world
to
is,
fix this?
it's always be, do, have, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or be, have, how does it go? No, do, how is it supposed to
Is it
be?
do be
Do be,
have? I think it might be
now
have. It doesn't matter. It's those 3
like
words.
it's not. I feel like it's not do, but it's like be the person first, right? Yeah, be, do, have. And so how often do we spend all the time in, what do I have to do? How do I have to do this? What do I have to do to fix this situation? We stay in so much fucking control of everything
Yeah.
that we cock block the universe completely.
Yep.
This idea that like we can step away and go, what does my business want? Like it's its own energy outside of us is just so freeing to me.
Yes.
And I told
Well,
my
and
husband
that's
that's
where the magic is, though.
totally. But the problem, I think, is when we add ourselves to it.
Correct.
When we add
Because then
ourselves
it's
to
us.
right. Because our natural default is doing energy. Our natural default is to fix problems. And especially I was talking to a friend of mine who her career, same as mine, was in pretty much in management. And we managed a lot of crises. Crisis comes, we fix it. Crisis comes, we fix it. Like that's what it was like working in our government jobs in the positions that we had. And there is this like fixing energy where it's like as fast as possible, you want to get out of the problem.
Yep.
So imagine when you no longer have that job, what happens? Because she just retired and she's like, shit, I've been fixing everything. I'm fixing my family. I'm fixing my husband. I'm fixing my, like, I'm fixing it all. And I said, what's worse? When you don't have anything to fix and then you start creating shit to fix.
You make shit up.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it felt this process of like giving my business its own energy, like, and opening it up to what do you want to be? Because I know I sat in this space where I thought, holy fuck, my business, I can feel it. It wants to be so much bigger than I am allowing it to be. It must be pissed with me because I am keeping it much smaller than I believe is needed in the world.
Yeah. But it's not mad at you. It's like, we're ready whenever you are. We're ready to go.
Yeah. But I'm sure it was really happy today. Like that but you know what I thought about it, and like Cam doesn't have his own business. So it wasn't about the business itself. It was about relinquishing control.
Yeah.
And the need for control.
And what other areas of our life do we do that in?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And stopping to pay attention to that energy.
And even when we say we're not going to do it, right? With our kids, especially with adult kids, right? You've got zero control.
Zero.
And
now,
so
not that I don't try.
Right. Oh, I don't know. But what do is you sit in this space of uncomfortableness because you have no control. You know, if you tried to give them advice, they wouldn't listen anyway, for the most part. And so it's like this feeling of, I know I don't have control over this, but I feel unsettled in watching it.
So do you
Right?
know what I had to do? And I don't know if this helped Lily because she could see me looking at her this way, or if she felt that I wasn't trying to control or whatever. But I started sick because the stories would play in my head in the morning and I would feel anxious. And I'm like, what are you thinking about? And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about Lily and this situation and this. And then I'll ask myself, well, is it true? Well, no, it hadn't happened yet, but that's what's going to happen. Was that what you wanted? So that whole process of then going, no, that's not what I want. Well, what do you want? And then telling the story of what I want to see for her. Not a specific, like she needs to go to this school or do this. I mean, it wasn't that kind of a thing. It was more of a, she's in charge of her magic. She is using her magic. She's out there putting herself out to the world, creating something new and being happy and excited to be here. And those kinds of things. Now, I never verbally said that to her, but that's what that little tape that I would play in my mind when I would find myself worried about her. And that's what I'm watching right now. Is she doing all of the things? No, but her spark is on and she's going to find her way. And it felt better in the telling of that than all the bullshit what ifs and worst case scenario options.
Exactly.
So,
and we spend so much time, I think, in our heads with when you were just saying, like, is it true? And you said, well, it's not true right now, but I know it's coming because I know everything from the past. I know all of that. And, all we do is give energy to that.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get out of when you're a parent, particularly.
Yeah.
And I have been saying, is this assumption or fact?
Mm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, especially if you're very intuitive, it's like you trick yourself. Is this true, or is this my gut? Is this true, or is this
Oh
not
no, I
true
won't
right
even.
now, but I know it's going to happen,
Yeah, I won't even play with my gut. I'm like I don't, but I will. Like I did say, oh, it's going to happen, but
Right.
it wasn't true. And why the hell would I
No.
repeat a story in my head over and over? That's a daydream
And
or
it
a
gives
daymare.
the universe for what we don't want to happen.
Yeah,
The more
yeah.
say this is going to, know this is going to happen, and we ruminate over it, we're giving power to the thing we actually like
Don't
don't
want.
want at all.
Yeah, yeah. Making it bigger.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The mind is fascinating.
Uh-huh.
I just
Yeah.
I find today and for the last 2 days, I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And my
Mhm.
clients are so cool because, they all have their own stories and their own
Yes.
situations and their own struggles and their own successes. And it's so amazing when you can see the sparkle
Yeah.
or that aha, like Oprah talks about, right?
Yes.
Like that aha moment.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
sometimes I have a client who talks to me about something and it's like, oh, that's my aha moment. Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
take that. That is
I think all
so
of them teach us something, but sometimes there's those profound things that we needed to hear in that moment
absolutely.
because you will never ever forget that story. And I don't think I will either.
I know. It's something I'm totally going to implement. So it'll
Mm-hmm.
be like my thing in life. Like it's like my journaling.
Yeah.
I will never probably not journal in the way that I've started to. I have like lots of different journaling processes. I'm not even going to call them prompts because I actually don't love coming up with prompts, but like processes. But my absolute favorite one, I can't remember if I've said this before, is to just write down, Dear Universe, this is what I'm feeling now. This is how I'm feeling now. I just write all of the negative stuff out, or you can write out positive stuff, but I love to just write out all the negative stuff, not because I'm giving energy to it, but in a process of releasing it.
Mm.
Because to
Letting it go.
me, having it roll around in the back of my mind and then just going, nope, not today. I'm not going to think about that today. It still might be back there. Sometimes, if it's just on the tip of my tongue, I
Mm-hmm.
can do that. I can just go, nope, not thinking that. Like if it's just, but there's the odd time it's tied to an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when I was talking to you about my weight and I was saying, my gosh, I feel worthless. I can't look in the mirror. Those are things that were stuck in my mind that I needed to get them out of there because pretending they didn't exist wasn't helping me.
No,
And trying to convince myself they were wrong was
not
not
helping you
working.
because then you're
So
making them bigger in your mind. And it's
absolutely.
scarier because no one else knows.
And I'm making myself wrong for having them. So
Yeah.
now I'm judging my feelings and my thoughts and emotions.
Yeah.
And so what I've started doing is, Dear Universe, this is what I'm feeling now, writing it all out and then going, I release this now. And then, Lord, what would you have me do? God, what would you have me do? Universe, what would you have me do? And I don't care if it's like drink a glass of water, Priestley. Like I don't care what it is, but it's
Is that
like,
God's voice?
yeah, that's what he sounds like. But like it's one of those things I will never forget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never,
Well, I
you
don't
know?
know if writing and doing that process is the same or similar to like when you're worried about something or upset about something and it's just stuck in there instead of trying to stuff it or go, not today, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go to Paul and I'm like, I know this is ridiculous, but I need to talk to you. And I'll
Oh,
tell
yeah.
what I'm feeling. And I'm like, I
Mhm.
feel this way. And this sounds so silly because this doesn't make sense. And I'm making it
Yeah.
mean these things. And
Mhm.
then we can sit and chew on it for a minute. And it's like it goes poof. Because
So a
go ahead.
friend of mine, this is why a friend of mine used to always say he is a shaman. And he used to say, Sandra, once you make it known to the universe, it ceases to be a problem.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. It's like in the backs of our minds, and it's the secret that we have. When it's
Oh,
in our subconscious or like rolling around, it's so much more real. We write it down on a piece of paper, we tell a friend, and then we go, oh my God. Once it's out of my lips or out of my
yeah.
pen,
Yeah.
it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
poof, it's gone. But in the back of my mind, totally. You know, when I wrote, I feel worthless. I feel like I don't belong. I wrote some of the most like heart-wrenching words that don't sound like me. They sounded like a
Mm,
6-year-old version of me, but they don't sound like 51-year-old badass. That's for sure.
right. And that's
But when I
powerful too.
release them,
Yeah.
unleash the badass.
I love it.
Like
And on
how
that
long do
note,
those? Oh, we're out of time.
we are out of time. So I was like, on that note,
Yeah, we gotta go.
this was good. And you were right.
Mhm.
That was an awesome story. I'm glad you saved it for the show.
It's cool, hey? I
So,
know.
okay. Have a great week. I will see you Thursday. And thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.